a chance to increase that New Zealand lead. Yes, just holds its line and length and just creeps in on just inside the far upright. And for all that pressure of Neath, then no real rewards. They take this quickly through Thorburn, downfield, a huge gap, but it skips over the try line, over the dead ball line. But quickly thought by Neath, not allowing the All Blacks to enjoy the taste of that penalty success. Whittaker offers his forwards a chance to get there, but intercepted by Pugh, the prop. But over the touchline despite Bashop's efforts. It's the man that really has to raise the tempo, pace of the game, lift the spirits of his team as well. Llewellyn, who's been a star line-out man today. Inside comes Llanelli, straight down the middle. Standing off to space, Williams, little. And Gallagher, surprisingly for a man normally renowned for his coolness, just a fly hack at that, but Williams delicately done into that corner.
The half-backs of Neath, Bridges and Williams are playing expertly this afternoon. They're putting the ball in front of their forwards, giving them the card as they get down there.
And Williams, just a quick word with his centres, wants someone to come on the straight run down the middle. So Welling dominates again. That's the long pass to Llanelli, takes the short option, good tackle in midfield. And space here for the All Blacks as Whittaker kicks into space. Thorburn then has to hurry back. Time to pick up and just finally pushed over the touchline by Whittaker. Tremendous tackle by Brewer in midfield to halt that Neath first. Phil Pugh, who's been very much in the fray this afternoon, the Leaf flanker. The All Blacks seem to have steadied the ship, though they were rocking in the first quarter of an hour of the second half. Bashop, there's no room that way, says Phil Pugh and Mark Jones. As Williams, the prop forward, he has space, gets it to Bridges, the inward slant, gets it to Edmonds, but Edmonds wanted to come inside, and what a shame. But again, tremendous mauling, Phil Bennett, from this Neath pack.
Yes, brilliant mauling by the Neath forwards. Williams had ripped it, given Bridges an option of a man each side. Should have taken advantage of that, but there's where it was a blatant forward pass.
Well, Bishop won't be over happy with things at the moment. Pressurised, he's been just a little bit indecisive. And indeed, Brook takes the pressure away from his scrum half as Thorburn attempts a drop kick at goal, which is watched by Gallagher as it skips over the dead ball line. But Thorburn wanting to keep play down that end of the field, not allowing the All Blacks to enter Neath territory. Tries to retrieve. Pugh, the other Pugh, Jeremy, then the referee decides that ball has gone forward.
But it's noticeable, you know, that Neath seem far fresher up front. They're a yard quicker than the All Blacks. They're winning the 50-50 ball.
Let's watch the tight marking Neath three quarters there. Not allowing any space in which the All Blacks can develop attacks. Well, George Stanley is not happy with things. Really in some bother there. The play has to go on. Well, that's a very unusual sight to see an All Black in that state in midfield. And that's crooked, says the referee. A free kick awarded to Neath. As Paul Williams wants to get it into action as quickly as possible. His captain, Kevin Phillips, have gone on another track looking for it. Terry Wright says that it had been taken, and indeed it's a scrum. Well, what disappointment for the home side. Some indecision.
And a minute ago we saw just Stanley being sick in the middle, but he soon spotted that and was quick enough to run there.
Pugh has gone off on the blind side, Morris on the open side, but still Mike Brewer is able to drive upfield. The pass well directed by Bishop, although Stanley then looks for a little break before chipping. Back there's Bateman, delivers to Thorburn, he stands his ground and the pressure from Innes. The rest of the New Zealand forwards arrive. Neath on the retreat. They win that on the retreat. Amazing stuff by Neath, delivered back. This is Whitson, knocked forward by, or knocked back by New Zealander, and finally out of play, untidily done at the end of it all. But again, we see the strength of the Neath forwards. Once it's in a tight situation, they somehow are able to release that ball. Again, the Neath back row detached very quickly. Stanley with a pass to Wright. Lovely little play off the ball from Gallagher. Finds that space, collects the ball. Running off the ball is Little. This man is strong as well as talented. This is Brook coming inside Botica. Finally, though, to ground.
I said earlier on this would be a test of the New Zealand character. They certainly raised their game there. I think they need a score to be more comfortable, because Neath are really on the boil.
Again, Morris and Jones detach. Bridges also comes across to block up midfield as Brook tries the surge. Bishop again, the indifferent pass into midfield. And this is the tester from Botica. Well, he bounces free. Some confusion late, he wasn't sure whether he was onside or not. It's McDowell that sets it up. Delivered to Bishop, lots of spaces, Little takes it. Room for Innes with Gallagher on the outside. A try for the fullback, his second. And that's the class of the All Blacks. They've really been on the rack for most of the second half, yet they're still able to mount attacks, and once they sent the opposition try line, they score tries, and this time through that man, Gallagher.
Well, they did show character, some good driving in by the back row, but it's a perfect kick. Just look, they're moving the ball after they'd won the maul and ruck. Lovely time pass, and there's Gallagher. Easy, simple job, and he's over in the corner.
That's the fullback. His second try of the game. Scored a try in Pontypool as well, so his third of the tour. He's now scored 27 points on tour. So this is right from the extreme right-hand side of the field for Botica. Successful with one conversion already, the previous Gallagher try. So strikes that into the breeze, not quite the strength.
And there's Botica putting the high kick in, and it's hanging into the breeze. Really, nobody could take it, and good play there. Leahy thought he would have been offside. Good pride by the All Blacks, went down in the ball, setting it up for their forwards. Bishop again, he was in the favoured narrow side, and a lovely time pass. There's Gallagher waiting, and the fullback's over. Well worked try.
So the restart was long and over the dead ball line, which brings us back to the 22 and a New Zealand restart. Well collected by Neath, well protected as well. Peel just looking to see whether there's an option. It's delivered though to Morris on the blind side. The flanker goes for a drive, well supported again by Captain Phillips. Williams there, so is Phil Pugh, the flanker. It's on its way back. Mark Jones, the number 8 there. Charges on. Bateman helps, and killing on the ground, says the referee. Points a finger at Sean Fitzpatrick.
And here's a vital decision for Kevin Phillips here. Does he go for the 3 points, or does he want to play the game at a fast pace?
Decides that 3 points would do nicely, should Paul Thorburn succeed with this. Paul Thorburn, who's already converted a try from the touchline kick to 40-metre penalty. Chance to cut the deficit to 5. Yes, yet another success for Thorburn. Full back in fine form. So 5 points the difference then. Wayne Shelford looks rather concerned. So the All Blacks have 5 minutes in which to hold on. 5 points the difference. They need to keep the ball down in Neath territory. Need to win this on the retreat. It's on its way as Bridges burrows, but not quickly enough, says the referee.
That's a big decision there. Mr. Howard said that New Zealand were going forward. I think that Neath felt that they were winning possession.
Just a little reluctance on the part of the New Zealand front row to go down into that scrum.
And in these last few minutes, I would think the back row will want to take up the ball.
Brooke is positioned between the lock and the flanker. So watch that Brooke positioning again. He'll look for the quick pickup. But this time, for the first time in the game, you see the New Zealand scrum take advantage. Finally spoilt by Neath. Bishop not risking anything. Put the pressure on Neath. Again, they mount a drive. They all collect, they all get together, and then once they're ready, once everyone's in position, it's a straight drive.
And again, that was from a high kick by Portugal, which hung in the wind and gave the Neath defenders no chance to get under the ball.
So Neath, having performed so well, having got so close at one stage, put real pressure on these All Blacks. Now find themselves defending just a metre short of the try line. And again, the New Zealand scrum confident enough to take on. Brooke scores. And at the death, the All Blacks in the crowd. Relief at last, having worried as Neath built up a tremendous concerted drive, finally yield a try to that man Zinzan Brooke.
I asked if they had carried a nerve. They've certainly got carried a nerve. Great scrimmaging, Zinzan Brooke, and he's over for the try.
So scores a try, his first try of the tour. This is Botica. And further success for the outer half. So, with minutes remaining of the game, 11 points is the difference between the two sides. As we enter the final minute, then, have Neath anything left on offer, having put up such a tremendous fight? Just an inch too long. So we're into injury time as Neath have to retreat to that scrum on the halfway line. They would have loved a little bit of momentum from that restart. Sean Fitzpatrick again, the front rows, New Zealand front row not ready to go down, as Fitzpatrick explains. Finally signals to Basham. This is Botica, long pass to right. This man has pace. On the loop is Little, but not quite the hands on that occasion. Neath have little option here but to make full use of this possession. Into midfield then, little space for Llanelli, but the kick aimed too close to the touchline perhaps, needed to be in space. Would like more options there, just going across field rather than straight down. Beautifully done. This is Little again, takes on the opposition defence. As Brian Williams mounts a Neath attack. Now they need to get together as Wetton takes Bridges without the ball perhaps. The referee decides the ball had been nudged forward. The crowd certainly don't agree.
I don't think Mr. Howard is the most popular man in the North this afternoon.
Fred Howard whistles. That's the final whistle. Neath having mounted a tremendous fight back here early on in the second half. At the end of the day, go down to the touring All Blacks in their fourth game of the tour. The final scoreline, Neath 15, New Zealand 26. The wind, it's very nearly gale force. The referee, Ken McCartney of Scotland. His first big occasion here in Wales. And the two judges, Brian Anderson and Barry Clayton. And Brewer already asking whether he can hold the ball for Grant Fox, because really these conditions are very nearly beyond. As McCartney asks Phil Davis, Fox responds with the first kick of the match. No wonder that it sailed over the try line and then on over the dead ball line, because this is a gale force wind at the back of the 1989 All Blacks. That's Colin Stevens, this young man that's taken over the outside half role at Stradey Park here. Quickly maturing young man. Lots of pressure on him today, especially in the first half, to keep that ball just in front of his forwards. And that sails back over the 22. The referee, well, it was not forward, in fact, it had crossed the 22. So the scrum takes place for the knock-on. First scrum of the match. A little smile on the face of Anthony Buchanan, delighted to be on the field today at Loose Head, in there because of his scrummaging strength. And next to him, the young Andrew Lamerton. A tremendous experience for him. The young man straight out of youth rugby, first season at senior level. The move in the back row. Gary Jones quickly in there to stem that. Phil May already has Llanelli tried a counter-attack. Kick charged down, and finally over the touchline. Shelford offered the option of a scrum upfield or a kick from where the Llanelli players within 10 metres of the ball infringing there. After that kick, they felt that the ball had been charged or knocked down by a New Zealand man. Well, Grant Fox, yes, will attempt to kick at goal. A man who has such a remarkable record at international level. Has only played once on this tour. He had a tongue injury which has prevented his further participation. Played against Cardiff and scored 11 points on that occasion. His second game of the tour then, and his first chance in these early seconds of the game. 2 minutes gone, and a chance for the All Blacks to take the lead. Well, technically there, Brewer is in front of the ball as it's kicked. Whether that is allowed is, well, might be open to question. Fox then. And that doesn't even threaten the post. Williams, the number 8, watches it go past. Finally touched down by Steve Bowling. It's Grant Fox. It won't be a kicker's day, that's definite. And that's another man who'll come up against some problems. Jeff Bird, he's Llanelli's main place kicker. Be interesting if Stevens tries something that'll, and that's very interesting. Keeps the ball underneath the wind, and that puts Earl in some bother. Taken on then by Simon Davis. Then the forwards come over. This is Griffiths. This is Stevens. Again, a lovely little kick that struck end over end there, just to keep it rolling into the wind. Good play by Llanelli.
That was good play by young outside half Colin Stevens. The forwards have done very well to win that scrap ball, and Stevens said thank you very much, put him 20 metres downfield.
As McCartney just asked the forwards, the first line out in All Black territory for the first time for Llanelli. Buchanan and McDowell, the two men up the front there. This is Fitzpatrick. Wetton collects. What a good drive from the All Blacks. Let's just watch this scrum then. Llanelli have placed great emphasis on the scrum for this game, and as you see, they're very keen to get down into grips with the All Blacks. Llanelli indeed turning and spoiling that All Black possession. It's gone too far though. Buchanan turning inwards and upwards against Lowe.
And at Llanelli this week there was a great deal of debate whether it should be Buchanan or Ricky Evans, but I think Buchanan had the nod for his scrummaging power.
And this time a crooked feet, says the referee, but obvious signs of some discomfort in the All Black front row. It really is hopeless kicking the ball. Llanelli just have to run it. This is May, a lovely little dummy and a gap. Now needs support. This is Griffiths. And this is Phil Davis into midfield, stays on his feet. Williams, the number 8, quickly there, laid back. Now there's space for Stevens. This is Simon Davis. Again, a well-constructed little kick, end over end, rolls in. Llanelli on the boil right from the start.
And interestingly, Llanelli ran that penalty, such is the force of the wind there. Great play by the forwards with captain Phil Davis very much in the van.
Number 5 in that line-out for Llanelli is the captain, Phil Davis, with Phil May standing directly behind him. The two main jumpers there pressurising Wetton at the front. It really makes it difficult for the All Blacks. The ball knocked forward at that line-up, says the referee, so the option is to come out 15 metres, allow some space. The only difficulty on occasions like this, Phil Bennett, having worked your way upfield, worked hard to get up there, one kick will send you 100 metres
That's
back
right,
down.
either Ridge or Fox, I would imagine, will be putting his 70 or 80 metres downfield.
Shoots out untidily though. Llanelli keep it in play. Still not definite. One or two fringing perhaps. But the referee, as Buchanan and Sean Fitzpatrick, have a word or two. One or two others as well. Lowe and May have a little chat with one another. So emotions running high, and the referee decides that the All Blacks were to blame on that occasion, but no chance of kicking a goal as May takes it quickly again. Phil Davis drives right through. Now here's a chance for Julian Williams, but no, says the referee. The ball, well, he could have waited perhaps just a second.
And I would have thought a kick at goal must be on here, because even if he misses, the ball is bound to hang in the air.
Well, Jeff Bird is a long way away, so they're bound to run at them again. 18 metres to go. Phil Davis again. Tremendous drive, still going. This must be a good chance for Llanelli. This is May, half a metre short. This is tremendous Llanelli pressure, and the scrum is theirs as well.
Great play by the forward. Phil Davis, in the short period, will be quite outstanding. I wonder, will they have the drive to go for a push or a try here?
And the Llanelli man injured, that's Phil May. He's already been much to the forefront of things, and a man with so much to prove, having been to New Zealand and suffered out there, always said that he wanted to have one more go at the All Blacks, especially here.
And look at the short penalty, and watch the powering surge of Phil Davis. Look, 18 stone, crashed through one tackle. He wasn't tackled, did very well to turn and lay back perfect ball. Phil May, the other second row, his partner, driving from the line. Scarlett's packed right behind him, but the referee didn't have a clear view. Inches from the line, and he blows up, and was Llanelli the scrum.
So 8.5 minutes played. Can Llanelli take the lead into this gale force wind? Quick possession, but too quick for Williams perhaps. Keeps on, lays it back though. Gary Jones retrieves. Now Llanelli need to ruck this. It's out wide. This is Simon Davis. Just half a metre short. Well, Llanelli certainly taking this game to the All Blacks, and that into the wind as well, and the driving rain. They've started off at a cracking pace.
I think Simon Davis was almost over there when he lost the ball, and that's the kind of chance you have to take against the All Blacks.
Pressure on the All Blacks then, especially Dean's scrum half. Wiley gets it away to Fox under pressure. Still the outside half, lovely left-footed kick from the Auckland outside half. So Lamberton then, 19-year-old, something of a surprise choice. No real first-class experience, but here up against the might of the rugby world in the All Blacks. Drawn in by Jones, but the referee not satisfied with the aim of Lamberton.
And that's another crucial area of today's game, is going to be the throwing in of both hookers, because the wind is so strong. It's vital that they get the throwing in bang on target.
Well, Fitzpatrick and McDowell are all that keen to get down. The Llanelli three-quarters tightly up there, just to pressurise. Again, it's foot up this time by Lamberton, says the referee. A free kick to the All Blacks. And you could see that ball wobble as Fox just dropped it on his foot. It wouldn't just stay so that it could land properly on the foot. Really, these are atrocious conditions. And just to stay out there for these players is performing heroics. If you win it again, it's May that ties it in. Standing off is Julian Williams, the number 8, ready to drive on. It's driven blindside though by Buchanan. Griffiths is the scrum half that's quickly there. Really, Llanelli will keep it as close as possible to that pack. They're confident that the strength in that area is good enough to take on the All Blacks. Fitzpatrick then. in the middle of that fray. Vast test experience. Llanelli take that, it's Jones, then Williams. But again, the referee, and really all lines out really will end in scrums, because it's virtually impossible for the hookers to aim that ball straight down the middle of those lines.
Yes, it's just a lottery at the moment. The passing is almost impossible. The forwards will have to take it on close to the scrum and more.
That was crooked, says the referee. So already both scrum halves penalised, and the touch judge on the far side is in as well. We'll have seen something on that side of the scrum. And it's an all-black misdemeanour. Murray Pearce is the man that receives the warning, looks at the number, and one more, he says, and it'll be off. So it's again the running option. Williams of Stevens sets up the maul. Llanelli will try and roll it right. Ewan Jones finally decides to enter the fray, but no, says the referee.
And again we see there is Shelford, number 8, not bothering to go down in the scrum, standing on that narrow side.
And the referee penalising the Llanelli front row in going into the scrum too quickly, not waiting for the referee's word to say engage. As Fox, this is a giant kick downfield, bounces way over the head of Jeff Bird, the Llanelli fullback, and really that's 75 metres in one huge kick. Conditions, if anything, have improved since the opening of the game. It's still very windy. Again, good tactics from Stevens, sensible to keep the ball as low as possible. Actually now retrieve it. Well, again, Griffiths just shows the referee the ball. Had he waited just half a second, possession would have been theirs. And as you see, the floodlights already on, and it's only 10-3. But conditions that bad. That's Lawrence Delaney, an old campaigner here at Stradey Park. International experience, will enjoy this occasion. Again, the scrum on the other side goes down. And that'll be the side where Delaney and McDowell get to grips with one another. And that's an interesting confrontation. Shelford is part of the scrum this time, as the All Blacks try and pressurise Llanelli. And it's a tap to McDowell. They're going down in that scrum. Again, Llanelli just have to run it. This is Gary Jones. Takes the first tackler. Again gets over the gain line. This is Griffiths. Cannon was so quickly there, but there's an All Black between him and the rest of the Llanelli players. The All Blacks going forward, says the referee.
And the referee blown up quite quickly, not really letting the mauls go on. I don't know whether to do with the conditions, but I think Llanelli wanted to roll that maul.
It's Deans then who places. This is Shelford, then Deans again. Kick really not going where Deans wanted, but they get a second bite at it because the scrum will have to reform. Stevens just telling his centres, just stay behind him, not to get into an offside position. Shelford decides to keep this. It's finally into midfield. Little goes for the break. Lovely play from this young centre. Deans to Fox, lovely switch move. This is Innes, but he's in trouble. If Llanelli can now pressurise, Dower gets it away to Deans. He starts on a run. He's got men over. Delicate little grubber from Deans. And Bird finally guides it over the touchline. An early break then for Little. Tremendous talent, this young New Zealand centre. leaving Deans with some problem, I would have thought, if you win the ball in that manner. Ball on its way back on the Llanelli side. Lamberton plays scrum half. Stevens, a kick into space. Innes is there. He'll just hoist it. Well, that's rather wasted by Innes. All he needed was to hoist it towards the post. That would have meant problems for Llanelli. That's a little bit of inexperience from the winger. Well, the referee very keen to keep daylight between the two lines. Lamberton is the man that will restart. May was the man that got fingers to it. Again, the referee not satisfied. It's a good All Black scrum. Solid. Allows Deans, but Deans again, rather waste that. But there was offside play from Llanelli, says the referee. Fox will use the wind and drive this as far as he can into the Llanelli corner. Well, nothing ambitious from the outside half. Just content with a 30-metre punt downfield. So it's Phil Davis jumping at 2 for Llanelli against Gary Wecken. And then Phil May jumping in the middle. Again, it's not cleanly won by